welcome to another Mondays with Mikey. We are here today with some fun feathered friends.
And Mikey.
Who doesn't have feathers. But anyway, so we are really excited to share this opportunity with you today, and also to remind you about the gsosummeronline.com.org.net website, where you can find all summer activities in a partnership with Creative Greensboro, the libraries, and Parks and Recreation. Do you know what it is today?
It's an American,
all right, Michael.
American Robin.
American Robin.
It's the parrot again.
All right.
Hi guys, welcome back to Mondays with Mikey. We're gonna do a little bit of some question and answer. Like, if you guys have any questions, just write them in, and I will pay attention properly. We're talking a little bit about domestication today.
Kate says you have a rooster.
Thank you. I hadn't noticed. But anyway, I know normally we just bring in an animal, we talk about the animal, that kind of stuff. But I did bring animals, of course, it's me. But we're going to kind of go on a topic today. So today we're going to talk about domestication. So not the marriage, move to the suburbs, get a minivan kind. We're going to talk about the less scary kind. Animal and plant domestication, okay? So domestication is like basically the process by which a wild animal or plant kind of gets used to humans and starts to integrate into different cultures, and basically kind of evolves to kind of cohabitate with us. So sometimes we do it consciously, like breeding for different traits and whatnot. Sometimes it does it unconsciously, where they just kind of conform to each other. So I did bring some of the more familiar domestic animals, brought chickens, okay? And we'll talk about those guys. They're kind of fun. So we're going to start out with what everybody's normally kind of used to. Hi, sweetheart. Want to come up and visit? Okay. All right, everybody. So this is Zelda. Zelda is what is her. She's a chicken. She's a normal domestic chicken. Now, all chickens, that are on farms, in your yard, feeders, they're pretty much one species. But just like dogs, everybody's got dogs, and all dogs look different, right? They're all one species, but there's different breeds. So she's what's called a bifelder or a bifalo elder. There's an extra LE in there, but it mucks me up. So I'm just gonna go with bifelder. So she is very sweet. She's very cool. She is a normal domestic chicken, about the average size. Want snacks? Nope. So the cool thing is, this is not a bird you would find in the wild. You would not find a wild Zelda-looking chicken in the wild. She basically has been made this way over countless generations of human interaction. So it kind of differs. So chickens were basically started to be domesticated roughly between 5,500 and 7,000 years ago. Everybody has a different opinion, but there were chickens being, I put it down.
So what is the snack that you gave her?
Oh, these are just dried mealworms. So they usually really like them. They're a good source of protein. The extra protein helps when they're making eggs, that kind of thing. So
They're dry. They don't move.
they are dry. They do not move. They're not as juicy. No.
Hello.
No, but they're easy to keep in a little container like that, and You want to face that way, face the nice people? They're not that scary.
No. It's like, no, she's in my face.
So is she a pretty gentle chicken?
She's a pretty gentle, as you say that, she's going to no. Yeah, she's really a gentle chicken. She's really sweet. Now, chickens are a lot smarter than most people think they are. They get to know their owners. They'll follow you around. They'll kind of get underneath your feet, that kind of stuff. The cool thing is, so like I was saying, this is not like any kind of wild chicken. They're really... The only thing, the closest to a wild chicken is something called a game fowl, which they originally came from Southeast Asia and were bred for fighting, actually, unfortunately. And then later in time, people started breeding them for meat production, egg production, and that kind of stuff. So these guys have been bred. You right there, Shelly?
You startled me.
She just decided she wanted to
Hello,
go.
sweetheart.
Can I just pick her up
No.
You can
go
try.
that way.
I don't know I don't want to get pecked.
She won't
You
peck
won't get pecked.
Okay.
Won't peck
You'd
you.
get winged.
Oh, I might get
She'll beat you
Yay.
with her wings if she doesn't want you to pick her up.
We're just gonna skedaddle.
It's all good.
She's just walking.
She just walked.
I'm
she
checking
doesn't like
it out.
Restrained, so it's all right. So we're gonna have more chickens. We'll just let her wander around. At the very least, she's gonna poop in the conference room.
You do have a question.
I do.
Yes.
Tell me how turkeys are still running around wild, but chickens are not.
Excellent question. So, totally different breed. So, turkeys actually all evolved, were developed, sorry, not evolved because it's domestication, came from wild turkeys. So that's the actual wild form of turkey. And what we have now are all the weird different breeds, that they're bred bigger and thicker for meat and plumage and colors and that kind of stuff. So those are your original form. Chickens, there's a form of game fowl in Southeast Asia, which is the ancestor, way, way, way back ancestor. If that's the, what it came from or something close to it. We don't know if it's 7,000 years ago, the original predecessor is still around, but something close to it still runs around in the jungles of Southeast Asia. But chickens have been around for so many thousands of years that they've been kind of developed into different kinds of breeds and whatnot. So you saw Zelda. Now let me show you something else. Now this is the exact same species, but these are different breeds.
Is it Hilda?
It is not Hilda. Who's Hilda?
Sabrina the Teenage Witch. There was a Zelda and a Hilda.
Oh, that's cute. No, wow. Not in the new series, the old series?
No. Yes, the old series.
Okay, I don't know. I remember the cat.
Yeah, Salem.
Yeah.
Sorry. No, her name was Zelda because it rhymed with Byfelder. Now these are what's called bantam chickens. These are mini versions of your normal chickens, so they're a lot smaller. So no, this is Wesley and Buttercup.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, like Princess Buttercup.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. You got to see that reference we get, right?
Yes.
So this is Wesley. Wesley's very cool. He is full grown. He's a couple of years old. He is not going to get any bigger than this.
She's so tiny.
And then Buttercup is his. I'm coming to get you. Is his lady friend. You can tell the difference between the boy and the girl because if you notice, she's a little smaller. Wesley's got the big comb on his head, a little bit more of the ornate feathering.
Okay.
Yep.
Hi, how are you?
Wesley, do you want a snack?
Oh, yep.
Okay.
We shared.
That's gross.
What's going on?
She
It's
let
all
loose. It is what
So
they do.
anyway, they don't get any bigger. Now, this is one of the smallest chicken breeds in the world. There are, some type of sarama. He's what's called these guys are saramas. They're from, there's a Malaysian type of sarama that's a tiny bit smaller, but these guys are pretty much some of the smallest chicken breeds there are. And you want to crow for everybody? Scare Shelly again? But they're really neat. They're very cool. Now the fun thing is, there's lots of different traits that come with the the domestication. So egg production and size. So they both lay plenty of eggs.
Well, hello.
No, we haven't forgotten about Zelda.
I'm sorry.
Right? No, you're fine.
They're coming up for their
The
close-up.
chickens are much more impressive than me. But that's one of Zelda's eggs, and that's one of Buttercup's eggs.
Whoa.
So there's a big, big difference.
That is a big difference.
Right? And people have bred over the years for egg size, egg production. Some chickens will lay most of the year, big eggs, that kind of stuff, because they always want more and more food. So they're really neat. The other fun thing with Zelda's breed, they basically have developed a trait that when they're chicks are so cute, but are really hard to tell apart sometimes. They do something. The boys and the girls look different. So when you look at brand new baby chicks, a lot of the domesticated breeds, you can tell the boys and the girls apart because they're like a different color.
Really?
So it's like, oh, boy, because a lot of people will buy chicks to raise them up, but they don't always want roosters because you can't have too many roosters together because they'll fight.
Yeah.
Plus, a lot of neighbors, like especially if you're in Greensboro city limits, you can't have roosters because they make a lot of noise.
They make a lot of noise.
Unless they're like tiny like Wesley, that's okay. But basically, a lot of people don't want roosters, so they want the hens for the eggs and whatnot. Mm-hmm. So it makes it easier to get hens, as opposed to everybody getting a whole bunch of chicks. Be like, okay, well, half of these are roosters. Uh-oh.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're coming back. You want to come up again on the table and say hi? But there's all kinds of animals that are domesticated, guys. Obviously, dogs, cats, chickens, cows, pigs, goats, sheep, all that kind of fun stuff. Plus, plants can actually be domesticated, like wheat and cereals, and that kind of stuff. That's all domesticated. The wheat that we eat now is a little bit different from grew in the wild thousands of years ago. We basically kind of developed it to make it better for our production, for picking it, for using it for us. So it's really, really cool. You all right?
Yep, I'm good.
Okay.
There's just nice little presents on either side of me. So.
Yeah, okay. The thing with birds, just gotta remember, birds will poop every 10 to 20 minutes.
That's a lot.
It is a lot. It is like you weren't here when we brought the duck, were you?
Well,
No.
I wasn't.
Yeah,
was
Marty just stored up for the trip.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's all good. They like this is them showing that they're very happy to come out of their coops and come
I'm
visit us.
sure.
So it's okay.
We're free. Let's poop.
Kate
Absolutely.
thinks that Zelda's singing.
She's what?
Singing.
Oh yes. Yeah, she's a little bit on the vocal side. She'll come run around your feet and be really happy, make lots of noises. And then Wesley, of course, when he sees, in the morning, in the evening, or when he sees somebody, he'll usually crow.
So do they spend? Does Princess Buttercup and Wesley spend a lot of time together, like they are right now, or?
Yeah, they're
pretty well attached.
They're pretty well attached. Yeah, they are. And he's a really good rooster. Some roosters can get a little aggressive and whatnot. He's really well mannered. He will watch out for her. Like when I went to pick them up to bring them here, I picked her up first, and he was right at my feet saying,
Excuse you.
Be nice. Be
She has curfew.
Be nice to my lady, because he didn't know what I was doing,
Yeah.
So I put her in the carrier and I picked him up, and he's fine. He's not mean, but he's just very intent. He's very protective, which is great. That's what a lot of people use roosters for on their farms and their yards. Whatnot. The one rooster will protect the flock from predators, people, that kind of stuff. So they're really, really good to have around.
So if you have a rooster that's a different breed from the other chickens, will he still protect the other breeds?
Yes, they're all one species. But yeah, they'll still protect. They still have that instinct. They're all chickens.
Yeah.
They're just slightly different. Just like your dog. Dogs will get along, right?
Yeah.
And a German Shepherd and a Chihuahua are the exact same breed. Although I know the German Shepherd's probably ashamed to admit it. But they're the exact same breed. They're the same species. They're just a different breed.
Yeah.
So these guys are all chickens. They're just different varieties, breeds.
Yes. You're being so cute sitting right next to each other.
Because they're adorable like that.
Yes. Tell me about it.
Let's see. Kate said that their chicken poo makes great fertilizer.
It does, and the cool thing with chicken poo, like a lot of poop, you've got to mature and kind of let it age a little bit to get the nitrous right. But the chicken poop is a lot of times, not everything, but you put it straight in your gardens, and it's solid, just like rabbit poop. It's great.
Yeah.
Absolutely, and yeah, my plants grow really well because they poop all the time.
Yep.
So it's all good. They're really good to have in your gardens too, because they'll take a lot of the pests and the bugs. A lot of people will just leave them loose in their yards for insect control and whatnot else, and they're really, really good. Do you want to come up again and say hi, or do you want to run under?
Oh, hello! You wanted to see me, didn't you? Nope.
It's all good.
She's like, bye.
So anyway, guys, that's your very, very quick and easy course in domestication. There's a lot more to it. We've been doing this for thousands of years. The original domesticated animal, in case you haven't guessed, was the dog, and that was, oh goodness, close to 15,000 years ago we started that. So it's been a big thing that has helped humans over thousands of years between animals and plants and farming and agriculture and everything else. So domestication is huge and kind of has contributed to where we are these days. Yeah. That's just a quick thing. We can talk about domestication for 2 hours, but the phone doesn't have that much battery and nobody wants to look at me and listen to me for that long. But anyway, thank you for coming to play with us again. Next week, another one we'll do. I'll try and I think we might go outside and play next week, so we'll see. And if you have any questions, by all means you can ask. But have a great week. Shelly's gonna come and talk.
Yeah. So again, just check us out on gsosummeronline.com, .org, .net, whichever one. We've got them all. And see what other summer fun activities we have. And also, since we are probably going to be outside next week, get familiar with the different trails and lakes and parks that we may be visiting. So you can visit the Piedmont Discovery app on iOS or the Google Play Store. And we'll be here with me on Wednesday doing a wind thing. where we'll figure out wind directions and stuff like that. So kind of backyard meteorology. It'll be a lot of fun.
They left some meteors on the table for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll let you clean those up.
I'm the talent. I don't have to do that. It's the production crew.
Oh boy. Okay.
But anyway, guys,
All
have a great week. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
What do you think, you guys, huh? What do you think? Cuties.